screen visible to you? Hello? Is my screen visible to you? Yeah, please reply in the chat if I'm audible and is my screen visible to you? Yeah, there might be some connectivity issues. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so activities from the programming perspective, what we said is basically these are nothing but the classes which are containing the different methods. And activity consists of every activity consists of one important method, and that important method is basically on create. Okay, now on create function is similar to that of the application of the main function in C and CPP programs. Okay, now what we said is the activity cannot only have the on create function, but it can have a series of such functions. Okay, or it can have a series of different various methods. Okay, we are going to see that. So just you have to remember activity is a class which can contains different functions, and out of these different functions, the important function is basically the on create function. Now, as we said, there is an activity. Okay, so each activity has some kind of different life cycle methods through which the activity travels from the beginning till the end. So let's try to see what are the different activity life cycles methods are there, and what do we mean by that. Hello, am I audible? Okay, so Rashmi, please check your audio settings if I'm not audible. Okay, so let's try to see the activity life cycle methods. So as we have seen here, these are the activity life cycle methods. So diagram seems to be a little bit complicated, but don't worry, we are going to explain it. So what happens when I launch a specific activity? Okay, and which are the stages through which the corresponding activity goes till it ends. Okay, so for example, let's say this is the activity I have created. Let's say this is a specific Gmail activity. So if I click on this Gmail activity, I can say I have clicked on the activity. So activity is started. Okay, so this is what you have to understand, which are the different life cycle methods happens in here. Okay, so once we launch an activity, the very first method that will get called is basically called as on create. So once we launch a specific activity, a very first method that will get called is basically an on create method. Now after the on create method, the activity goes into the on start. The activity goes into the on start. Okay, now what happens in on create? In on create, we can say the activity object is created in RAM. We can say inside the on create, we can say the activity object is created inside your RAM, that is inside your mobile device's memory. Okay, then after the object is created, it automatically go to the next phase, and that particular phase is called as the on start. Now what happens in on start stage is activity becomes visible. So we said activity is an user interface, so it should be visible. So when the on start is called, we can say your activity becomes visible to the user. Activity becomes visible to the user. Okay, but one important thing here, the activity is visible to the user, but it is not interacting. So but user cannot interact. But user cannot interact with this. User cannot interact with this. So just remember, in a on create, activity is not visible to the user, its object is just created inside a RAM. From onCreate, the activity goes into the next method, and that method is basically called as onStart. Okay, so whenever the onStart method is called, the activity is visible to the user, but user cannot interact with it. Okay, so it's just a small time period where the activity is in on start, and after the on start the activity will again go to the next particular method, and that is basically called as on resume. Okay, that is basically called as on resume. Now this is the actual method, or we can say the life cycle, where the activity is visible, and at the same time it is interactive. Okay, so it means you can basically click on the activity, you can interact with the different user controls on that particular activity. So for example, if I say here, this is my device, suppose, and since I'm able to click on any email, okay, I can say this particular activity is inside on resume state. Okay, so this is what the on resume state is there. So in on resume state, every activity is visible and user can interact with it. Okay, so after on resume state, we can say our activity is now running. Okay, so our activity is now running here after on resume state. Now suppose if I click on this activity, so this is the activity. Let me clear these annotations. Okay, so if I'm on this activity, currently the activity is running. So this is my activity which is showing me the inbox. Now if I click on this activity, so if I'm click on this activity, the activity is interacting with me. So I can say the activity is currently running. Now if I click here, some fragment will occur. Okay, some fragment will occur. Now if you watch it carefully, here is the fragment. If you watch it carefully, here is the fragment I have. So this is the fragment I have, and on this fragment at the right side, some part of the activity is visible. Okay, so it is in the background, but some part of the activity is visible. Okay, so what we can say, that this fragment is basically coming into the foreground of this activity, but the activity is still visible in the background. So this particular state of the activity is called as the on pause state. This particular state of this activity is basically called as the on pause state. Okay, so here the activity is visible, but it is in the background. Okay, it means some kind of another component is overlapping that particular activity. Okay, some kind of another component is overlapping that particular activity. Now when I say, if I use or press the home button, okay, then you know the activities goes entirely in the background, it is not visible. Okay, so activities is still in a memory, okay, but it is not visible. Okay, then I can say this is a particular method of the activity that is get called, and that is on stop. Okay, so in a on stop, activity is still present in a memory, but it is not visible to the user. Okay, and suppose if I remove the specific activity from a memory, what method is get called is basically on destroy. So in on destroy method execution, we can say the corresponding activity object is removed from the memory, is basically removed from memory. Okay, so let's try to write a small program in order to understand the working of this activity life cycle. So if you also want to write a program, you need a specific Android environment setup. In order to set up the Android environment, you basically require three softwares. The first software that you have to install is a JDK. I'll suggest always prefer a latest version of JDK because it will provide you the latest features. So JDK is basically a software development support that you have. Now, along with the JDK, what you need to install is additional software that is basically an IDE, which is specially developed for developing the Android application, and this is called as the Android Studio. Now, this is developed by a company that is called as the JetBrains. This is developed by the company called as the JetBrains. Okay, similar to that, you can have the Android Studio. So you can install the Android Studio basically. Then after the Android Studio, what you can install additional is the Android SDK. Now Android SDK, no need to install it additionally. Once you install the Android Studio, the Android Studio will automatically install the Android SDK for you. Okay, just you have to choose the proper versions of the operating system for which you are developing the application. Means suppose I have to develop the application for the Android Lollipop. Okay, then make sure that you have installed the Android SDK for a Lollipop. Okay, so based on which operating system for which you are going to develop the application, you need to have a proper Android SDK. So we have already installed this particular software and we have installed the Android Studio also. So let's start with the Android Studio. Okay, so remember what we are actually trying to understand is this. Okay, we are actually trying to understand the Android activity lifecycle. So what do we mean by this on create, on start, on resume? Again, these are the methods of the activity class, but when these methods are actually get called, that we have to understand. Okay, I think you have got some idea from this particular diagram. In order to understand it in detail, we are going to write an application. So let's say this is the application I have already created. Okay, but I haven't written any kind of code. So we'll write a code here. Okay, so let the Android Studio load. Yeah, so here the Android Studio is loaded. Okay, so are you able to see my Android Studio screen? Yeah, are you able to see this particular screen for the Android Studio? Okay, so once I created a particular application, here you can see I have by default one activity that is nothing but the main activity. So main activity is basically the activity which is called first when you launch your application. So for example, I can say if I, okay, so let me remove all the screens. Okay, so for example, let's say if I open my WhatsApp, then by default, this is basically the main activity which shows us the chat window. Okay, if I go to the status, this is some another activity. But the important thing is that when I launch a specific application, which is the first activity visible to me. So when I launch a WhatsApp, the first activity visible to me is basically chats. Okay, so I can say chats is nothing but the main activity. So just remember, main activity is nothing but the activity which is very firstly visible when you launch any application. Okay, now when you write your application and open the code for myActivity.java, mainActivity.java, here you can see the code. Okay, so if you want to create an activity, what we said, so activity is basically a class. Okay, but if I write this class, this will be a simple class. Okay, it will not be activity. In order to make it as activity, I have to extend it. So class main activity, okay, should extend a built-in class that is called as the activity. Okay, that's called as the activity. Otherwise you can go with the generated code by the Android Studio IDE. Okay, so that is the basically the advantage of using IDE. Some part of code you have though automatically generated. Okay, so this is a class main activity that we have created. Now in order to make it as a user interface, you should extend a built-in class which represents the activity. Okay, now here it is extending a class called as the app compat activity. Okay, so you might say that we said we should implement or extend the activity class. Okay, so this activity class will be able to work with the current version of the Android system. But if I use something called as app compat activity, it is it is compatible with previous versions also. It is compatible with the previous version. So that's why this particular activity class is called as app compat activity. Compat stands for the compatibility. So it provides you the compatibility. Okay. Now here we know by default we have one method, and that is basically called as the onCreate method. Now currently we don't know what is this particular set content view. We are going to see it afterwards, but currently we don't know what is that set content view. Okay, now what they are doing here, inside the onCreate, they are calling the onCreate method of the superclass. Okay, so super.onCreate means they are calling the method of the superclass, that is of class app compat activity. Okay, now what we'll have here, we'll add some code which will display toast. So I can say toast.makeText. So currently you will not understand this code because we haven't studied this particular thing yet. We just need to understand what do you mean by the activity lifecycle. Okay, so just don't go into the details of what does this particular each code means. We just want to understand the activity lifecycle. So we will call onCreate called, then we'll display the toast for a long duration. Okay, so this is what the onCreate activity is. Now what we said is, after the onCreate, the method that is get called is basically onStart. Okay, so we have to override one more method, and that is called as the onStart. So we'll simply write on. Okay, so it will suggest me the methods which are available. So I have to choose the onStart method, and if I click here, you can say onStart method will be automatically included. So I simply have to copy and paste the code which will display on start call. So we'll replace this particular message from on create to on start call. Okay, now let's try to write the next method. So after on create, the next method that we have is on resume. So we'll write this particular method on resume, and then we can say we'll copy this code, and instead of calling it as on create call, we'll call it as on resume called or resume called. Okay, so till now we have written only three methods. Let's try to see whether our code works with these three methods or not. If it is working with these three methods, we'll write the further code. Okay, so as you can see, my application is building currently, and once it is get built, so we'll try to run this app. So typically building of app on Android will take a slightly longer amount of time. So you have to code it with the patience. So as you can see, the app is still building here, and once it is get built, yeah, so you can see it has finished with 0 errors, and it is trying to install this app. So I'll click on the install. Okay, now as I install this particular app and the app is launched, okay, you can see on resume is called. You can see on resume is called. Okay, now why? Because it is already started with on create, then it started with on start, and after that it started the on resume. It started with on resume. Okay, or let us have the better way of understanding. So rather than displaying the toast, what I'll have is I'll add some log messages. So I can say log.d, let's say my app on create. Okay, and we'll go on pasting this particular message below. So here I need to call as on start, and here I need to call it as on resume. Okay, now let's run the code again. Okay, so as you can see, my activity is launched. It is saying on resume called. Now if I go to the logcat and filter these messages, okay, so let me, it has my app. Okay, so as you can see, okay, so you have to see it here. So on create, on start, and on resume. So let me clear these messages again. Okay, and I'll remove this app. Okay, and I'll relaunch this app. Okay, so currently you can see there is no message visible here inside this logcat window. Now when I launch the app, the first method that will get called is on create, which will create the object of activity in a RAM. Now when my activity will become visible to the user, but still the user cannot interact it, the method that is get called is on start. And now when the user is able to interact with this activity, or we can say the activity is running, the method which is get called is on resume. So currently, so far our program is behaving correctly. So we can write the further program. So after the on resume, what particular method that we have is on pause. Okay, so here we can write the toast.makeText as well as the log.d in order to display the toast and in order to display the log message. Okay, so here we'll just write it as on pause called, and here we write as on pause. So on pause is there. Then the next method that we have is basically on stop. So inside of on stop, also we call it as on stop called, and in the log message also we'll denote it on stop. We'll denote it as on stop. And after the on stop, we have something called as on destroy. Okay, so whenever your activity will be removed from the RAM, the method which get called is on destroy. So inside a log also will display the on destroy. Okay, so we have written these particular methods. So we have written on create, we have overridden on start, on resume. Also we have overridden on pause, on stop, and on destroy. Okay, so let's try to run this again and see what happens. Okay, as you can see, my activity is launched and on resume is get called. So as you can see, first of all it will call on create, then it will call on start, then it will call on resume. Okay, now if I press the home button, okay, if I press the home button, you can see for some amount of time the activity was visible but not interacting with the user. Okay, so on that case it was calling the on pause, and since the activity is no longer visible to me, it is calling the on stop. So whenever the activity is in memory but it is not visible to the user, we can say the method that is called is on stop. That's called as the on stop. Now what we have is from on stop, if I again navigate to the activity, from on stop, if I'm again navigating to the activity, then it will again call on start. So first it will call on restart and then it will call on start. Okay, so what we'll do here is we'll again, so you have to observe this, okay. So currently the activity is in on stop state. Okay, so we'll again navigate to our activity. So if I click on the activity, here you can see it is now again calling it as on start, and from on start it is again calling it as on resume, because the activity is now again interactive with the user. Okay, now suppose if I remove this activity, so here you can see, so if the activity is still visible but I cannot interact with this activity, what method gets called? On stop gets called. So here the activity is visible to me, okay, but I am not able to interact with this, so on pause and then on stop is called. Okay, now what if I remove this activity from the memory? So if I remove this activity from the memory, okay, the method that will get called is basically on destroy. Okay, so whether we have written the on destroy, yeah, so let's see it again. So on create, on start, on resume. Okay, if it goes on pause, on stop, if I again restore the activity, it will call on start and on resume. Now if I press back, okay, if I press back here, the activity will be removed entirely from a memory, you can say. Then it will call on pause, on stop, and at the end it will call on destroy. So whenever the activities on destroy method get called, your activity will become no longer visible, and as well as it is not inside a memory. Okay, so I think just 5 minutes were remaining. So this was the Android activity lifecycle. Now what is your job for today is you have to install the Android Studio along with the JDK and along with the Android SDK, and you have to practice the Android activity lifecycle. And if you have any doubt in this, you are going to ask me it in the next lecture. So your homework for today is you are going to install the Android Studio along with the Android SDK, and based on that you are supposed to start your Android activity lifecycle demonstration. Okay, so the video lecture I'll be uploading today itself on the YouTube. If you have any doubts, you can ask me on the WhatsApp, or you can rewatch this particular lecture on the YouTube, which I'll be uploading soon. And once I upload it, I'll be informing you on the WhatsApp group. Okay, so if you have any doubts till now, you can ask me. If you have any doubts till now, you can ask me. Okay, so I'll be sharing this PPT with you on a Moodle, and at the same time I'll be uploading this particular lecture on the YouTube. Okay, so I think the time for this particular meeting is over. So meeting will stop at any time. So we'll stop this particular lecture today. I'll be uploading this lecture soon on YouTube, and once I upload it, I'll inform it on the WhatsApp group. If you have any doubt till now, please ask. If you have any doubt till now, please ask in the chat. Okay, so that's it for today. We just started programming with the